Why, hello there. My name is Fabrizi. This is my channel. And if you have seen my first buccal fat removal vlog, you would know that this is my update. It's been exactly 2 months. Oh wow, so kawaii. 2 months. Uh, so it's been 2 months since my buccal fat removal. These are basically my results. Note, disclaimer, keep in mind, buccal fat removal is in like the apples of the cheek, so like right here. I have had some masseter Botox right here, so if there is a little bit of a slimming of my jawline, that is not the buccal fat removal. That is my masseter. So there's a difference between the masseter, which is back here, and the buccal fat, which is right here, which there is definitely a difference between my before and after. And I'm actually gonna even show you a photo. I just retook my driver's license, and I compared the one I took now versus the one I originally took about 3 years ago in 2018. I basically weighed the same. There's really no difference other than the fullness of my cheeks. And this is what I would see in photos of myself. There's definitely a difference when viewing my face. I will go over some of like the pros and cons of the process, some questions regarding like the healing process, how long did it take for the stitches to come out, moreover. So let me just review some of my notes here. And before we begin,
bitch, the door.
if you're gonna be an asshole, like in the comment section, like you better yeet. You better yeet. If you have a negative opinion, if you're a man and you have a negative opinion about this, you better get your butt out of here. I swear to God. No one asked for your opinion. And if you a girl with something not so nice to say, like I ain't trying to take your man, so I don't know why you coming for me. I don't want your man. I don't want your dusty, crusty man. So there's a difference between expressing an opinion, an honest and genuine opinion, and just being civil about it versus just being a jerk and saying things like, what, do you want me to feel insecure about myself? Like, bro, what's the point? So first things first. Oh, hey there, kitty. Hey girl. Okay, so let me just mention this real quick. A few questions in the comments. I think I answered most of them, but I'm just gonna say this here. So how much was the surgery itself? $550. I go over the cost in depth towards the end of my initial video. How can you drive after the procedure? It's local anesthesia. Under local anesthesia, essentially what that means is it's just like a shot where you stay awake and then it numbs the area for a few hours, so you can drive under local anesthesia. It's general anesthesia when you're knocked out, and that's a situation. Usually when you have general anesthesia, that's something that you usually have to stay overnight for, or you need someone else to drive you, for sure. And can you walk to Dr. Beltran's office? How far is Dr. Beltran's office from the border? If you go on his website, his address is listed. It's about a mile away from the border, his office. I don't recommend, if you're a lonesome woman walking by yourself somewhere unfamiliar. But you can either take an Uber. You can also just let him know, Dr. Beltran's office, know that you need transportation pickup from the border, and then you will be picked up. And does buccal fat removal hurt? Well, the first 2 days seemed a little bit ugly, and that's because it is. The first night is really the only night that actually kind of hurts, but other than that, pain-wise, it's super manageable. It's nothing horrible. I do recommend that you take like minimum 4 or 5 days off of work, but ask Dr. Beltran. These are questions that are best left for Dr. Beltran during like a consultation. So yeah. I have some points jotted down, so I'm just gonna go through them. But I think it'll address a lot of questions that people may have about the buccal fat removal process. So stitches. When I first had the stitches in my mouth, they didn't fully go away till like 4 weeks in, but they didn't hurt. I could like barely feel it after 2 weeks in my original vlog, but they did go away completely by itself. They're no longer there at all. Pros and cons of buccal fat removal. I really want to discuss this. So the buccal fat removal really gave me first of all, my cheeks have popped out a lot more. I do notice like hollowness in my cheeks, so it does make me look slimmer, which I think is nice. So cons. So this has been kind of going through my head for the past couple months. More specifically in this recent month, because that's when the results really started to show. So Dr. Beltrán, my surgeon, I have no complaints against him at all. Like, he's well adept at what he does. He was great. His service is great. His staff is nice. And he did his thing. He did his thing. I have zero complications from my procedure. There is a risk of losing feeling in your cheeks. If, let's say, they cut open your mouth and hit a nerve, there is a risk of losing that feeling. But that did not happen to me in my case. Moreover, on that point, there is a con when it comes to changing something permanent on your body. Now, I don't know if I necessarily regret getting the buccal fat removal, but I wish I had a little bit less taken out. And the thing is, when you change something on your body, when you change something permanently on your body, and when you look at yourself in the mirror, sometimes it can be a little bit to take in when you made that change. And it's like, do I recognize myself? Like, especially on the face, like, your face is what defines you. Like, your face it's you, right? Like, no one has your face. And when I look in the mirror, like, I notice the difference of the buccal fat removal. And it's a little bit unsettling in some aspects, because it's like my face is me. This is the face I've had my entire life, and like, I changed something about it that's permanent. Sometimes I look at myself and I'm just like, man, I don't know if I recognize myself that much. But I mention this to be real with you guys and not just paint everything as like magic and fairies. Like, these are real things that go through your mind when you have something done. Like, anything, even though I was under local anesthetic, I wasn't under general anesthetic, so I was awake during the whole procedure. It's still a procedure. It's still something that you do to change your body, and it should still not be something to be taken lightly. But with any type of procedure, you just have to weigh the pros and cons. Something else I need to mention as well, pros or cons, whether how you take it, is that it does make me look a little bit older, which personally, having to go through like all of my life and people thinking I'm a lot younger than I am, and like calling me, I don't know if any other woman can relate with this, because I'm sure in some respects, yes, but like, it would always irk me when people like call me like sweetie and like refer to me in like in the words in reference to like a little girl, and I'm like, I'm a grown ass adult, bruh. Like, or one thing that really sticks out in my mind is I was going to an 18 plus concert with my boyfriend, and he looks old enough, right? And then I go in there, and then the security guard's like, nuh-uh. He like grabs me by the arm, and he's like kind of rude about it too, like, let me see your ID. And I'm just like in my head thinking, I know you're just doing your job, but like, it's just like the little things that kind of stick out in your mind. But I've had many instances where people think I'm a lot younger than I am. But the thing about the buccal fat removal is it helps take out, I guess, it does take out the fullness in your cheeks a little bit. And for some people, that may or may not come to haunt them in the future. But something to really keep in mind that I really want to share with you guys is to really consider the dimensions of your face. People that have a very pointed chin, like literally like the archetype of a heart face, like, I feel like you can get away with taking out all your buccal fat. But so for someone like me, I have a little bit of a larger masseter, and I have a little bit more of a square chin. And hey, I hope no one in the comments says like, why are you insulting yourself? Nah, girl, I know what my face looks like, so I'm just being aware of the dimensions of my face. Like, makeup artists gotta know that shit too. Meaning, if I take like every little last fat out of my cheeks, it's gonna look kind of weird. It's gonna it's gonna really draw attention to the boxiness of the lower part of my face, which I feel like in some angles it kind of does do that. If you're gonna have a buccal fat removal, like, please consider that. Please consider that. If you have a very square shape, do not take out all the buccal fat. Like, again, your face, it's a medley of harmonious measurements and constructions on your face, and like, you don't want to mess with it too much. So yes, that's something that's I really wanted to express with you guys. So even though I haven't had any complications after my surgery, I do want to mention that even now, but even more so, like, especially like the first week to like the month to like 6 weeks or whatever, it was still a little bit difficult for me to open my mouth all the way. So if your man be asking you to do stuff, like, you better tell him to be patient. All joking aside, it's a little difficult to open your mouth like all the way. Like, you can feel a little bit of the soreness. No, I don't have it now. No. What's also kind of weird about buccal fat removal is when I feel, it doesn't feel as, it's like, it's thick, which, again, when you have something done to your face, like, when something changes, like, you can feel it, and it's something that you have to get used to. Like, you've lived all your life with a certain part of your body, and then now that it's changed, if anything, this experience has made me more aware of this fact, of how even sometimes unsettling it can be to change something part of your body permanently. And if you're going to have anything done in the future, to ensure that you keep this in mind, and it can help. I feel like with this experience, it'll help me be more conservative with if I decide to make any other changes to myself, and to have a little bit more appreciation for things that I don't like. Because it's a little bit weird. It's like if you didn't have a tail one day and you grew a tail the next day, it's like, okay, a great comparison would be when people like amputees, how there's like a ghost limb, the phenomenon like ghost limb, like amputees may feel like they literally have a limb still there when it's not there. That's what it kind of feels like. It's kind of weird, but I wonder, I don't think it's just me. Like, I feel like, and if it is just me, just maybe I'm just the weird one out. But okay. Yeah, that's all I really had to share. Just wanted to make this video a lot quicker and a lot shorter than the original vlog. But 2 months, here we are. Gonna see me on America's Next Top Model. Yeah. Which, by the way, side note, America's Next Top Model is one screwed up show. We were all little. If you were born in the late 90s, if you're a zillennial or an early Gen Z person, like, or even like a late millennial, damn it, if you grew up during the early 2000s, like, you watch America's Next Top Model, and then you realize afterward how screwed up that show actually is. But been there, done with that. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, you know what to do, baby. We out.